Namaste, Jai Gurudev everyone. A very warm welcome to this wonderful series that we are starting from today, especially on Navratri. So every day we'll be talking on different topics by different well-known teachers, senior teachers, Swami जी, साध्वी जी, ब्रह्मचारी जी. तो सभी का स्वागत है हमारे इस नवरात्रि के काफी अच्छे जो सीरीज हमारा आज से शुरू हो रहा है 30 तारीख तक चलेगा, 16-17 दिन चलेगा. और रोज हमारे साथ कुछ टीचर्स जुड़ेंगे, कुछ स्वामी जी, साध्वी जी, ब्रह्मचारी जी जुड़ेंगे और वो अलग अलग टॉपिक्स पे बात करेंगे और हमें बताएंगे कि नवरात्रि के रिलेटेड कुछ हमें नया सीखने मिला ऐसा कुछ. सो टुडे वी हैव डॉक्टर अंकिता धेलिया. सो आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल नो हर. जो भी आर्ट ऑफ लिविंग से जुड़े हुए हैं वो सब तो जानते ही हैं अंकिता जी को, बट स्टिल फॉर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग, for those who don't know, who are new to us, who are joining for the first time, she is a MBBS doctor. She is a craniosacral therapist, and she is the head of the alternative healing department in the Shri Shri Tattva in Art of Living. So she gives a lot of craniosacral therapy sessions, alternative healing therapy sessions. तो काफी उनका इंटरेस्ट है और बहुत ही ज्यादा हजारों लोगों को उन्होंने not only in India but also worldwide she has given such sessions and lot of people have benefited through her. So it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Ankita Dhelia, who will speak about Navratri fasting and give us some tips on how to fast, what to eat, what not to eat. Maybe she'll also give a few recipes. So let's see what's there in the store for us today. Over to you, Ankita.
Thank you, Sagar, for a very modest introduction. And Jai Gurudev, and welcome all of you to this series that we start today on different topics related to Navaratri. Navaratri, as the name suggests, if we break down the word, it comes from Nava and Ratri, which means 9 nights. See, nights are a time when we generally just go in deep rest. We sleep. Night is what provides us solace, rejuvenation, rest from all the tiredness we have had during the day. We forget whatever has gone on during the day that has stressed us, remember all the good things that have happened, and we turn inwards through sleep. And then next morning, we wake up feeling refreshed, rejuvenated, and rested. Similarly, Navratri or the 9 nights is that particular time of the year when we get a chance to experience that deep rest from within. And this deep rest is not just for the body, it's for the body, the mind, the spirit, everything. It's a very special time. It's also a time that marks the equinox. It's the time when the monsoons are starting to end and the autumn has come up, the winters will start. So it's a transition, it's a time of change in season that has a lot of effect on our bodies. It is a time when, due to the change of weather, change in the season, and also because the rains have just started to settle and become less, and a little coolness in the breeze, a little weather change has started. It's a time when a lot of people fall prey to certain sorts of allergies, certain sorts of infections. The immunity starts to get low, and this time the body requires a little bit of rest. When we say rest, there's one thing that comes hand in hand with Navratri, and a lot of people talk about it. It is fasting. The word fasting by itself just means abstinence from a certain type of food or a certain type of thing that we're drinking, eating, anything for a particular amount of time. Fasting just means that. There are various ways of fasting. Some people don't like to eat anything for a considerable amount of time, for say 12 hours, 8 hours, 16 hours. That is a type of fasting. Some people don't like to drink or eat anything. That is a type of fasting. Some people, they will say, okay, I won't have any sort of grains and I would just have, say, fruits and vegetables. That is also fasting. Some people don't eat anything cooked. That is also fasting. Some people have one meal a day. That is also fasting. Now, fasting, it does not come with rules that you have to do this particular fast. It's not that one shoe fits all. Everyone has a different body type. Everyone has a different requirement, and everyone is free to fast in the way they like. It's very important to listen to our bodies when we are fasting. But some sort of fasting during Navratri, especially this time, is recommended because of the change in season, because the digestive fire is low, the metabolism is low, the immunity is low. A little rest to the gut and the organs is important. Fasting is known to regulate sugar levels for people, to reduce inflammation for people. A lot of people, at this time, the gut tends to get a little iffy. A lot of types of food don't go well with us. So, giving that little rest to the body is important. When we give rest to the body at this time, the mind also starts to relax. Again, this particular time is really, really important. Uh, because what happens is at this time, the Pitra Paksh, the Shraddh time, when we remember our ancestors, that has just gotten over and the Deva Paksha has started. The mind is going through so much of change, the body is going through so much of change. This is the best time to go inwards, to have a little abstinence with what we are eating, to involve in asanas and meditations and chantings. Importance of mantras, importance of the different pujas and homas that happen during this time would be discussed in the subsequent sessions over the few days. So I won't get into the details, but it is something that allows us to go really, really deep. In Navratri, it is said that the first 3 days are the days of tamas. Tamas means a little lethargy, slowing down of the system. You can call it like that. You don't feel like doing much. There's lethargy in the system, and you feel a little dull and just wanting to sleep. The next 3 days are of rajas, where after that whole tamas and lethargy, there's a lot of restlessness that comes in. Then there is too much of activity in the mind, in the body, and restlessness, and sometimes even a little irritability might come in. And then the last 3 days are the days where sattva dawns, it's pure bliss. So a lot of people, they have different ways of fasting. They like to keep it really light on the first 3 days, and then they want to start weaning in certain stuff on the next 3 days, where they will introduce, say, one meal or two meals, still keeping it very natural, not without, not with too many grains. And then last 3 days are kind of celebration. So some want to continue the fast, some want to indulge in foods they like. So there is no rule. Some people like to do just first 2 days and last 2 days of fasting. Some people fast only for first few days. Now, see, fasting coupled with meditation at this time really increases the sattva in the system. It doesn't let the lethargy or the restlessness take over. So what are the few guidelines that we can have? It's a good idea to include sufficient amounts of fruits in the diet, or sufficient hydration is required at this time, including certain coconut water, or even some people like to have water with some lemon in it. But simple water, coconut water, juices are not a very great idea because they rip the fruit of the fiber, and they might cause a sugar spike. So instead of juices, having whole fruit is advisable. A lot of people can't have raw fruits, or they can't really stay hungry, and it causes acidity for them or headaches for them. So you don't need to stay hungry if your body doesn't allow you to. Listen to your body and fast in that manner. So, a very good idea, if you can't really eat raw fruits, is what you can do is you can put, say, an apple or a pear in the oven with just some cinnamon powder and some cardamom powder on it, and then you can eat that after baking it a little, or just stewing it on your pan and then having it. Even bananas, ripe bananas, you can just in ghee, with a little bit of asafoetida, you can just saute it a little, and then have it. It tastes well. It really stimulates the growth of lot of good bacteria in the intestine. This is the time when good gut bacteria can be cultivated by abstaining for eating too much, eating little, much lesser than what we normally eat, and then ending the fast with light good stuff. A lot of people also can't eat too much raw when they are breaking the fast. At that time, you can have maybe some cooked fox nuts or say samyak, which is barnyard millet, something made out of barnyard millets, or even something like I just said, some fruits that are already cooked, or even some dry fruits are a good idea. If raw fruits don't go too well with you, if they go well with you, of course fruits can be consumed. Then, like Sagar was telling me to mention few recipes. I have these sweet potato and water chestnut roasties. So what I do is I generally just grate the sweet potato and add 1 or 2 spoons of water chestnut flour to it. We call it singhare ka atta, kuttu ka atta. You can add either of that, and just a little bit of rock salt. It's not really required because the water chestnut flour by itself has a little bit of bitterness which adds to the salty flavor, so you don't feel the absence of salt. With little bit of ginger and green chili, and then mix it with water, make a dough, and then just spread it on the tawa, or you can make balls and bake it in the oven however you want, and roast it and then have it. So it's like a sweet potato and water chestnut flour roasty. So I'll just repeat it. It's just grated sweet potato mixed with water chestnut flour, a little bit of rock salt if you really need it, if not, no need at all, and maybe some ginger green chili if you like for taste. Mix with water like a small batter, and then spread it on your tawa, on your pan, and heat and have it. Just make sure that it's roasted on both sides, or you can just really bake it and have it. It tastes very good, it's healthy, and it's not raw for people for whom raw doesn't suit too much. Yeah. Then, again, fasting by itself, because of the season change, increasing the digestive fire, fighting inflammation, and increasing good microbiome in the gut, and uh, cutting out the free radicals that are produced in the body. It also improves heart health, cholesterol levels, and very recently it's been found that it also boosts brain function for a lot of people. And of course, it aids weight loss, because when we go for fasting for a while, weight loss is definitely promoted. But when fasting is combined with prayer, then we are detoxified in the body, and the prayer that happens, it becomes really way more deep and authentic. We tune in with the vibrations a lot more. Yeah, and there are certain times of the year where we really feel that the divine principle is a lot more accessible to us. So at this time, when we do fasting, when we work with the body, we meditate, we do yoga, we indulge in all these pranayama, all these activities that increase our sattva, the quality of the tranquility and positivity within us, it is something that we can really harness. It makes our mind more peaceful and alert. Yeah. The prayer becomes a lot more powerful, the body lighter and energetic. We become way more efficient. So it's a good time to indulge in fasting. It's a good time to indulge some sort of fasting, as per how your body allows you to. It's not that you really have to stay hungry throughout the day. For people who can, you can go on a very mono diet, or just liquids on the first few days, and then starting weaning with some fruits, or again mono diet on the next 3 days, and increasing little by little over the 9 days. But for people who can't really stay hungry, I would suggest it's not a great idea to push yourself. Look, it's all about going inwards and feeling good and light in the body. But if fasting or staying hungry for long hours is actually making you feel weak, That's not the purpose of the fasting. Yeah, it should actually make you feel deeply rested, rather than feeling weak because of no lack of nutrition. So listen to your body. If you feel hungry, and if you feel like you're really lacking the energy to even sit and meditate or do some asanas, it's a good idea to first check on your hydration. Many times it's lack of water that makes us feel very lethargic. Drink some water, check out that your hydration is good. If you still feel weak, maybe you can include some dates. Dates are easily available sugar. Dates, some fruits, start with that. And still, if you can't hold your hunger, then maybe you can eat some little food that is good in fasting times. What we definitely want to avoid is onion, garlic, or anything that's too heavy on the system just for these 9 days. Definitely non-vegetarian food is out, alcohol is out, because they are too heavy on the system at such times when the subtle energies in the environment are just so much available to us. Yeah. So when we fast at this time, the prayers, the meditation, the chanting that we do, they connect us with our spirit. And getting in touch with the spirit invokes positive qualities within us, which help us destroy the different kinds of laziness, pride, craving, aversion, and all other sorts of negative emotions that might take over our mind. So, again, coming back to fasting, it's just a great idea to listen to your body and fast in a manner that your body doesn't fight it, but your body wants to accept it. So, the options are, once again, either just being on a liquid diet for first 2 3 days, then moving to a mono diet, and then moving to two diets, where we can use things called falahar. Falahar means things that are definitely not the heavy grains. So instead of grains, we can use some sago or sabudana or barnyard millet, or even some people are okay using amaranth. You can use amaranth, or you can use certain dishes made out of fruits, like cooking, or just making a poached apple or a poached pear, or even what you say, some cooked bananas. Um, or making having milk and milk products if they suit you, like having some milk or having yogurt or buttermilk. That is also something that suits a lot of people, and they feel full once they have it. Yeah. Then barnyard millets can be made into curd millet, or they can be cooked and had like a pulao kind of a thing, a preparation where you steam them, and you can maybe add a little bit of cumin as an appetizer. Cumin is a herb that actually helps with the mono diet foods. When we are eating lesser than what we usually eat, it helps us. Then definitely in fasting, it's not a great idea to eat in the night or at night time. Night time, at this time, we should definitely avoid eating. If we are even having one meal, have it when the sun is up, or just at sunset, or at a particular time. Whole day, if we are constantly eating, then the fasting doesn't help us. A lot of us do fasting where they say, okay, I'm eating all the falahar stuff, but they keep eating whole day. Like mornings, there'll be, fried water chestnut or buckwheat pakoras, and then, the potato, fried potato and potato tikkis, and too much oil and too much consumption of food, too much tea, coffee. A lot of people have a lot of tea, coffee during the fasting, because they want to just stay awake, and whenever they feel that okay, they are low on energy, they'll grab a cup of tea or coffee. It's not a great idea, because it lets the acid build up inside the body. So if you're really hungry and can't take the you know the fasting, then maybe a date or two, or a little bit of water, or a little bit of milk or buttermilk is something that can be had. Yeah. And at this time, certain asanas and even meditation, it allows us to be to make fasting easy. What is special about Navratri fasting is that even if we are not used to fasting, during these days, fasting doesn't seem too difficult. The days have started to just get shorter. So fasting actually is easy at this time. The digestive fire is so low that it doesn't crave for a lot of food at this time. So fasting is actually easy. So all the people who have never even tried fasting, this is a good time to fast. This is a good time to be introduced to the world of fasting. In general, fasting once in a while, say once in 12, 11 days, 12 days, 15 days, twice a month, it's a good idea to fast in general for a full gut cleanse, for detoxifying the system, killing free radicals, decreasing inflammation in the body, decreasing the lifestyle diseases. Fasting is a very good thing. And at this time of Navratri, when we fast, we can harness the benefits of fasting way more, manifold. So, good idea to fast, but listen to your body. If you're really hungry and you feel your body is not being able to take the hunger, eat something, have some dates, have some dry fruits. If your body cannot take raw, and you start getting too much acid reflux if you have raw fruits and vegetables and juices, then don't be involved in too much of raw diet. You can have a mono diet of cooked stuff. Whenever you are having fruits, you can cook them and have. You can bake the fruits or roast the fruit and have poached fruits with some cinnamon and cardamom, which act as appetizer and also calming down the acid. You can have some herb teas at this time when you absolutely can't you feel that the body is becoming too much and the hunger is not allowing you to be yourself. Then you can also do some herb teas like cumin tea or fennel tea. These can be had, which again, because they are just water, we strain the cumin and the fennel out. They are still considered just water, so they don't even break your fast, and they make the fasting much easier for you. So keeping hydrated is very important. Navratri is not a time when we do a dry fast. Hydration is very, very important in this particular time of fasting, especially because of the season change. Yeah, the monsoons are ending, the autumn is coming, we are just moving towards winters. This particular season change and the days are shorter, digestive fire is low. Fasting can also be done by people who are not used to fasting. So, this is your chance to experience fasting at least once and you see how it goes for you. Yeah. So, with this, I would like to bring it to a closure, but not without inviting you all to attend the Navratri celebrations, which are happening after 3 years in the presence of Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar Ji at the Bangalore ashram. After 3 long years, and it's such a beautiful time of the year where people from all across the world come, gather, and sit together to soak in the vibrations of the yagnas and pujas that happen here. And for some reason, if you can't make it here, also the Navratri Pujas and Homas are happening in person in almost all the states of India. So if you read the little ticker that's moving down the screen, you can notice that it's organized in 25 plus locations across the country. And you can contact your coordinator by following the link vedicpujas.org/contact. And if you even can't attend that, then obviously, and please, please, please join us online from the comfort of your homes at vedicpujas.org. You'll get all the details there. But don't miss this opportunity of soaking in the divine energy of Navaratri. Yeah. Thank you very much. Jai Gurudev.
Thanks a lot, Ankita ji, for this enlightening session and a lot of things that you shared about the Navratri fasting. So tomorrow we will be joined by Swami Hariharaji, who will be talking about significance of Navratri Pujas and Homas. So we welcome all the viewers to join us tomorrow once again at the same time, same at YouTube and Facebook Vedic Pujas channel. We will be joined by Swami Hariharaji tomorrow. Thanks a lot everyone for joining. Jai Gurudev.